Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, family. It's your favorite Moor, Michael Leve, Regent de Marquis of the Washita Al-Moricano Sovereign Empirical Nation. Coming at you guys today. Today's date is the 18th of April, 1444, Sun Islamic calendar, 2023 in the Roman Greco-Gregorian calendar, fiscal commercial calendar at that. Today's video, unfortunately, I have to report a acting retired pro tempore judicial officer. So y'all already know it's time to get into the tea. Man, I get it. It's easy to get over on illiterate motherfuckers. I get that, absolutely. But should you? That's just like the pastors. That's just like these ministers. That's just like the church. You know, Islam for me not only gave me back spirituality, Islam gave me lessons in civics. It gave me lessons in managing my estate and giving me back my nobility and my noble status. That's what Islam did for me. So for the people who are still sleepwalking, you know, and giving their power to each, you know, and don't know how to properly conduct in commerce, all I can say to you is, I wish you well. Namaste. But, so, I just have to get the whole story out. So, basically, I've been going back and forth to court for the last year and a half due to an incident that took place on a public transit bus in 2021. And basically what happened is that due to my status, I'm tax exempt from paying toll fares. And I was riding on a bus that was not in my direct commercial jurisdiction, and I don't claim the commercial corporate jurisdiction. So with that being stated, I was given a bus fare card for this other bus that's in the next county next to mine. And basically what happened was on this particular date, I'm telling the bus driver, because I just started to ride this bus, I got this exempt card and it says that I have to pay you this, and you're telling me to pay you that, and then you're telling me, oh, it's to go over a bridge, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Like, that's not anywhere. How are you charging people a extra 25, 50 cents to go over a bridge? Like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all are really that hard up. And this is in 2021. This is at the height of the pandemic. These motherfuckers out here is greedy and hungry, y'all. These broke, dusty, irresponsible, fiscal motherfuckers are fucking greedy. So, the bus driver, I told him, I'm not paying you an extra 50 cents. And lawfully, I don't have to pay you a motherfucking dime. Get your ass to driving this bus, bitch. So, I didn't say all of that, but I just let him know I'm not paying you. So, you might as well continue driving the bus. And he did. He waited until we got to the last stop before he had to go over that bridge to try to extort me for an extra 25 cents. And you're not extorting me for an extra 25 cents or an extra 50 cents when I lawfully don't have to pay you a dime. But you want to be an asshole. So basically, I got arrested. I spent a day in jail. I signature bonded out, and all of this is I signature bonded out in my proper status. And if you know, you know. So I'm not explaining that. And that's why I've been going back and forth to this court. Now, mind you, in the year that I've been going here, even though I'm visually impaired, I take all of my visual cues because I know what's happening in reality and actuality on the international stage. But these sleepwalking pilgrims and niggas don't know. So Fortunately, a honorable judicial officer picked up my case. And I had to put my judicial proclamation on file. I had to put my legal name correction on file because these motherfuckers try to hit me with fraudulent misrepresentation. Don't tell me that I'm misrepresentation. Just say false identity. That's what you really are trying to get at. And threatening a public official because this old man got in my business with the bus driver, and I got in his face and told him mind his motherfucking business. Mind the business that pays you. Stop getting into other people's business with these bus operators. Because you don't know unless you talk with a person and they can explain to you why they're having this battle with this public official. Because bus operators are protected under federal law in their working capacity. So with that being stated, I just got in his face and I told him mind his motherfucking business. Didn't hit him, didn't put my finger in his face. They have recording of the bus situation because it got to the level where I had to contact the transit administrators. And in April of 2022, I got a call from one part of the operators, the directors, because there's two. There's a West Bank director and then there's an East Bank director. And the East Bank director is where I got the bus card. Now, I got a call from a Miss Annette. And she called me in April of 2022 and she told me, she said, you are right, it is 75 cents. And before that, in March of 2022, after Trump came and visited the city of New Orleans, everybody was in a different motherfucking way of acting. And I got on the bus and I paid what they was trying to extort me for, and the woman gave me a bus card. She said, they changed it back. It's you don't have to pay extra 25 or 50 cents to go over the bridge, right? I kept that bus card as prima facie evidence for court. Now, like I said, thankfully, a honorable judicial officer picked up this case. And so she's been very impartial and allowing me to adjudicate on my behalf without a public defender, because a public defender is optional. You do not have to attain a public defender by the courts in operating under the federal Constitution of the United States de facto corporate company. You do not have to retain or attain a public defender. You have the right to represent yourself, especially if you are one like myself. I believe can nobody defend me in something that I know best about. So since I know what happened to me, since I know how the situation went, I'm going to argue my own case in front of a judicial officer if I so choose to allow that judicial officer the jurisdiction to entertain the subject matter in the first place. And so, due to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, because most people who are violating treaty law are illiterate-ass U.S. citizens, they're protected commercially under this treaty. So, regardless of whether someone is acting as stating that they're Hispanic, African American, Black, Latino, or any other foolish misnomer, they're still protected by the state and the federal because they are operating in this U.S. citizen capacity. So unless you're engaging and have a dispute with another Moor, expect to have your business be entertained by the jurisdiction of the courts, especially because these illiterate ass motherfuckers are still walking around like as U.S. citizens. So, and I make no apologies for what I say because this is a serious issue. The literacy in North America is a serious issue and I don't take it lightly at all. So with that being stated, me and the prosecutor, we was going back and forth. He gonna tell me something in my previous video I had posted. Oh, you didn't know what I was gonna offer me? You can't offer me a motherfucking thing, bitch. And I don't mean to disrespect, but I have to come that hard because you're still trying to access my FRA to which I'm not granting you permission. And again, you're the one operating in fraud, not me, so I'm going to stand on my square. So In August of 2022, the DA, whose name I do not know, the judge just was calling him Mr. Prosecutor, Mr. DA, but Judge Judicial Officer Raylan Beavers is honorable. I'm like I said, I don't knock the hustle, but you're not going to hustle me. So with that being stated, your unum sanctum operations, as Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey would say, they have nothing to do with me, because if people choose to remain illiterate in the 21st century, in the age of information, with all of the technology and information that we have available to us, that is their business. And I get it, Empress B. We're trying to free our people, but people need to want to free themselves. And I get it. I'm a walking book of information, but that doesn't mean that I should be the one to hand you this information, especially for free, like I've done on this channel. So basically, at the end of this court visit appearance, this special court appearance on my behalf in propria personam sui juris jurisdiction, to entertain the fraudulent charges before the Honorable Judicial Officer Raylan Beavers, Division B of 2nd Parish Court in Gretna, Louisiana State Republic. She was very professional. She's always been very professional. I don't get any bad energy vibes when I step into her courtroom, and that puts me at ease, because it allows me to do my job and render, my jurisdictional expertise in a calm manner. The bailiff is always professional. When I wear my fez, he does not make me take my fez off. Anybody else step into that courtroom, take it off. That's how he is. And I love my bailiff. So basically, the DA apologized to the judge and I for wasting our time. And the judicial officer set me to come back August 31st, 2022, Roman Christian calendar year, to dismiss the charges, and I got there late and they were gone. You know what? Let me backtrack. I apologize to my audience, because I'm lying. I was not late. She told me to come at a certain time, and I arrived at that certain time to find the courtroom completely closed and dark. And I went to the minute clerk, and the minute clerk was like, "Oh, they left already." I was like, "Oh, but why the fuck was she told me to come at this time?" So she reset me for November 15th. Now, this is from my experience. I love women of every shade. I especially love honorable women who are conducting business in a United States commercial company. And so I feel like those ladies are kind of like using me, because they can sense the professionalism, the confidence that I exude when I step into that courtroom. And I am putting down the law in a competent, I'll say polite way. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to play with grown-ass motherfucking adults, bitch. You're out of here. Fuck with me and you're fired. So I'm making this video today to report a pro tempore judge, fake judge, Mr. Roy something Cascio. And his name will be in the description and in the headline and in the caption of this video. But I got caught last, as I usually do, because they know I have this mouth. The proceedings were not being recorded, so this means that this judge was solely in that seat on this particular date because he wanted to make some coins, and he's fucking retired. That's fucking fraud. But again, it ain't my business to step into the commercial business of what the United States got going on, because that's not my nation. The de jure Republic Union of States of Al Morocco is my motherfucking business. So I allowed for, the judicial officer to call me last. I knew he didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was. I didn't hear anybody else go up and ask this man what his fucking name or title was. He's just going and he's giving demands and giving orders and asking questions as if he's their lord. And the majority of these people are melanated people. So I just sat back, listen, and all I can do is eat my popcorn. because I'm listening to illiterate people stepping into a court venue that they have no literacy or competency in speaking the law and knowing the law internationally or nationally. But like I said, that's not my business. So by the time it was like maybe 2 or 3 people left in the courtroom. So 4 of us sitting in the court's pew or whatever. And they call the nom de guerre that I used to entertain as my legal name, so to speak. But as you all know, as I addressed in the beginning of this video, I am Réjean de Marquis Leve, Micah L. Leve, in proprio personam, in capitis diminutio minimo, at all points in times. I am not anything in all capital letters. And the contract stating that I had to perform or act in that nom de guerre expired at the age of 21. So basically, I got up there and I was gonna be very professional with him. But he started to cut me off as I'm giving my introduction as to who I am. So the minute you cut me off, I'm going to ignore you and keep speaking. Oh, we can't go back and forth like this if you're interrupting me. No, bitch! You didn't let me finish my introduction. So if you will allow me to finish my introduction, I will pause and give you the floor. He decided that he wanted to be difficult. So then he makes some silly comment about, oh, well, you can still be arrested. I said, and when I get the fuck out, my family and I will make it our business to not only, because he's a pro tempore judge, I can't threaten to have him removed from his bench because he's not even supposed to be sitting in that bench in the fucking first place. If you're retired, what business do you have sitting in our motherfucking courtroom? None. Let the truth be motherfucking told. And these are the games that I've seen take place before me, and those people who know that I'm honorable and that I'm coming in an honorable manner, they're using me because I just got this court date reset and I'm expecting to have these fraudulent charges dismissed. You could have told me that a pro tempore was going to be sitting in for Judicial Officer Raylan Beavers on this date, today, April 18th, 1444, Islamic calendar, 2023, Roman Gregorian calendar. So while I'm sitting there, because that's the first thing I said, like as soon as I walked into the courtroom and I see his old gray ass with the gray hair, I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch? Where is Judge Raylan Beavers at? So as soon as I stepped in and I saw him, I knew they're gonna reset me for another court date because I'm lawfully and legally under her case roll, under her docket, not his. So I knew that they just wanted to spar with me, and when I shouldn't say they because the minute clerk and whatever she is, a stenographer, the one who listens and does all the typing and crap, we've already had interactions, and she's already not told me, but assured me that I am acting in the proper capacity, especially when I mentioned the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, 2007. So why are you trying to spar with me? Then he gonna say something about, oh, you're in my jurisdiction. I say, no, you're in Indian country. You're in my tribal jurisdiction. And I granted you the permission to even entertain this subject matter as a trustee to begin with when I stepped up to this podium. So he's like, you just want to reset yourself? I said, yes, sir, we can do that. Absolutely. And I could tell by the girls, the pilgrim girls' faces who are sitting there working, sitting at their computers, they don't like this motherfucker. So they wanted me to come in there and act up. I'm not going to say that I acted up. I'm just saying that this is my personality. What you see is what you get. How you come at me is how I'm going to come at you. If you come at me and disrespect this motherfucking brain that the Lord Allah hath given me, I'm coming for your motherfucking neck. Period. I've been through way too much shit. So, yeah, I let them reach that, and I know that this is going to be my last court date, but this is the reason why I'm making this video and why I'm reporting him. Because after I made it clear to him, and look, so hold on, y'all, real quick. So I had this with me, as I always do, and I just put this sticker on last night. And when I was sitting in the very first row of the courtroom, and I had this on the floor. The prosecutor who apologized to me and Judge Raylan Beavers was there acting as DA on today's date. He was sitting in the jury. He was standing in the jury box. When he saw this, I looked at his face, and he hurried up and got the fuck out that courtroom before I could be called to the podium. Now the joy of my world is in Zion. I find it very amusing, because I had a situation happen to me in Atlanta where this dark-skinned man was like, oh, ain't no 23-year-old gonna boss me around. And I'm like, what makes you think I want to boss you around? I'm just trying to make sure that you're doing your job accurately and correctly as it pertains to my affairs. What you do with anybody else is on you. But when it comes to me and my business, you're gonna do this by the book. So I know my power and I don't abuse it. And I thank the United Nations for the international recognition of my tribal nation. Je suis de Washita. Je viens de la Nouvelle-Orléans de Washita. I graduated in the Union of States of Al Morocco in 2013. Roman calendar year. And the school I graduated from is Hiram. So I thank my Islamic brothers and sisters for standing together in solidarity against this unnatural, perverted corporation. And I thank everyone for being here on my journey to the truth. But yeah, the thing that pissed me off was that when I told the judicial officer, the fake pro tempore judicial officer, that when he was like, oh, because you can still be arrested, I said, there is no signed UCC-1 on file with the Secretary of State for the state of Louisiana in that name. So that would be fraud. And he shrugged that shit off. So since you think it's okay to do fraud on my soil, on my land, bitch, it's time to smack that ass. So this video is proof of today's interaction, and I want something to be done about Mr. Roy Cassios. Period. Because that is the tell-all. If you're going to... But they've been doing it for years, though. And so that's why he's able to just so confidently shrug it off as just a small threat. People feel very comfortable committing fraud in front of you because these pilgrims are fucking committing fraud. And I had a dude try to tell me, oh, well, everything is corrupted. No, everything is not corrupted. Everything is not perverted. And I'm not going to allow you to put that into my psyche. That's what really pissed me the fuck off. But I let him know, when I get the fuck out of that unlawful detainment, your ass is grass. Hashtag outnumbered. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, family. I am Rejean the Marquis, Micah Eleve of the Washita Al Moricano Sovereign Empirical Nation. Shout out to the Kingdom of Morocco.